continues and how that affects this Group 2 state championship game between Hopewell Valley and the Highlanders of Governor Livingston, who come in at 22-1-1. They are the Union County Tournament champions. Working with me this evening, Hugh Albanesius. Hugh, let's first of all talk about Hopewell Valley, a team that, of course, we don't get to see too much on TV3, enjoying a very good season, and they are scoring a lot of goals, especially in the state tournament.
Oh, yes, they are. They've scored a good number of goals, about 14 goals in 4 games, and they really are strong offensively, strong in the midfield.
And no doubt about it that their strength comes from the midfield, where they have an outstanding center midfielder, Greg Kroll, who has great peripheral vision. Not only does he have a great number of goals, but a great number of assists.
He's just a tremendous player. He can do a lot of things. 19 goals and 25 assists, and which shows he's not a greedy player. He can dish off very well.
Hopewell Valley was the highest scoring team in the Colonial Valley Conference this year. Also working with us today in our 3-man crew is John Marcy. John, let's talk a little bit about this Governor Livingston team. They come in a little bit banged up this evening, and that may force head coach Bruno Somma to do a little shifting around of the lineup.
Well, I had a chance to talk with Bruno before the game, and he said he's not going to make too many changes today. You dance with the partner that you went all the way with, and he said that right now Jeremy Vagell, who we're going to talk about in a minute, who was one of those banged-up players, is feeling real good tonight. So I think they're back to almost 100%.
Yeah, Mike Roof is the other player who is slightly injured. It is he who is more of a concern at this point right now, how much he will play and where he may play based on that injury. Let's talk a little about Jeremy Vagell. If you dance with the one who brought you here, Jeremy Vagell got him here with a goal against Northern Highlands.
Well, a goal against Northern Highlands is what put them here. That was the North Jersey Championship game. Jeremy is also a midfielder, and he's a senior, 4-year starter, outstanding ball player. He likes to keep the ball on the ground. Part of the strong point of this team is their defense. Jeremy has 16 goals, 10 assists, and but he works well with the defense, and this is the strong point of the team. They've only given up 12 goals on the season, and when you're 22-1-1, that's giving up less than a goal a game. That's doing real well.
As a matter of fact, they've only given up 2 goals in 2 games this year. That's how strong the GL defense is, but Hopewell Valley also prides themselves on defense, so maybe we're in for a low-scoring affair this evening. Sometimes that comes back to bite you, and we might have a lot of numbers go up on the board. It's Hopewell Valley and Governor Livingston for the Group 2 State Championship. We'll be back up in the booth in just a moment.
A lot of time you find people assuming that you're heterosexual, and you'll have someone walking up to you and start asking you questions about your girlfriend, or what you've done this weekend, and just assuming from their conversation you can tell they assume that you're straight. And you can respond to them and lie to them, but it would be a lot nicer if they knew and they wouldn't just assume that you were straight.
Be sure to watch the all-new edition of Info in your town, where we'll take you to Sea Caucus for a Walktoberfest for kids.
Don't miss the Black Tie Gala to benefit Eyes of New Jersey, or the Booktoberfest in Montclair, joining the library with the post office.
Plus, we'll show you that bookstores aren't just for reading materials anymore.
That's all in the latest edition of Info in your town.
And only on Suburban Cablevision's TV3.
And welcome back, everyone, to Trenton State College in Ewing for today's Group 2 Championship between Hopewell Valley and Governor Livingston. I'm Paul Spahala, with me Hugh Albanesius, and the man who forgot that today is the Great American Smokeout, John Marcy. We've got GL coming in at 22-1-1, Hopewell at 17-3-3 this year. And while we have this opportunity, let's meet the starting lineup for the Bulldogs of Hopewell Valley Central High School. They will use a 4-4-2 alignment today. Their 2 forwards are John Valenza, who has scored 17 goals, and also Matt Kerr, who's another senior. In the midfield for Hopewell Valley, the left half is Andrew Carden, the right half is Erik Skyba, and the 2 center halfbacks, and they are high-scoring players, Morgan Blackwell with 8 goals and Greg Kroll with 19 goals. Defensively for the Bulldogs this evening, Dustin Rubenstein, Jeff Timperman, Drew Nemeth, and Todd Swango. Nemeth generally marks the other team's best scorer.
Number 6, Dustin Rubenstein. Number
just to the left of the pile.
Number 18,
And the white, the yellow collar, that is the goalie for the Bulldogs, Tim McCollum. Let's meet the starters for the Highlanders of Governor Livingston this evening. They will use the 4-3-3 alignment. Tucker Semon, Greg Richter with 12 goals, and Jim Paviolitis, who also has scored 12, are the forward line for the Highlanders. In the midfield, Preston Light, Jeremy Vagell, 10 goals, 6 assists for Vagell, and Jason Iorio. And defensively for the Highlanders this evening, Jimmy Connors, Paul Turchetta, Paul Koch, and Tom Phillips.
Number 15, Jon Brink-Lund. Number 17, Niall O'Donnell. Number 24, Tucker.
Head coach for the Highlanders of Governor Livingston is Bruno Somma. Bruno is in his 5th year as head coach of the Highlanders.
And number 36,
And his record in those 5 years, 59, 34, and 8. This is his first 20-plus win season. Again, they are 22, 1-1, steadily increasing in wins in his 5 years from 3 to 8 to 11 to 15 to the current 22. All of the Highlanders are being introduced here this evening. Gentlemen, we should talk about the fact that we are, of course, playing on AstroTurf. Neither team did play during the regular season on turf, so obviously there will be an adjustment. As we've seen through the years, of course, the higher bounce, the quicker roll, just adjustments that team will have to make.
Well, there's an added problem tonight. Just about 25 minutes ago, we had a little spritz with the rain, which has made the turf a little bit slippery, so it's probably going to be tougher for the goalkeepers. Bruno Somma did say before the game he's a little bit concerned about the AstroTurf, as did Stan Davis, that they'd rather be playing it on grass, but we've discussed many times in the past the AstroTurf this time of the year.
It is going to be a much quicker game for both teams. Neither of them have had the opportunity to play on turf, as we said, so it's going to be a lot quicker. And if we get any more rain and this turf gets more wetter than it is, the ball has a tendency to skip on that type of turf. So we'll see what happens as the night goes on.
Governor Livingston had a chance to practice at Livingston High. Hopewell Valley practiced at the Woodhaven Sporting Center, which is a turf field. This is how the Governor Livingston Highlanders reached the championship game this evening. They are from North Jersey Section 2. They defeated Morris Hills in their opener 4-0, then Milburn 2-1, then Hackettstown in a very exciting 0-0 tie, 5-3 shootout win, and then they defeated Northern Highlands 1-0 in the state semi. I'll tell you more about that Hackettstown game in just a moment. Let's go to see what Hopewell Valley, how they got here this evening. The Bulldogs are representing Central Jersey. Matter of fact, they're only about 15 minutes or so away from here this evening, so it's not much of a road game for the Bulldogs. They defeated Shore Regional in their opener, Princeton 4-0, Somerville 3-0, and then in their state semifinal, they defeated Cinnaminson 3-1. So as Hugh said earlier, 14 goals in the state tournament for the Bulldogs.
The plus side to this field, Paul, is we walked it off and we've talked to some of the people down here. This plays a full 120 by 75 yards, which is the optimum size for a soccer pitch.
Take a quick look at our officials, then we've got one last player to meet. That's our GL keeper, George Rossi, and John Scoris are the officials for this evening. GL in the white with the red pants. Hopewell Valley in the black and yellow. And Hopewell Valley wins the first 50-50 ball. That's Morgan Blackwell. Blackwell looking to cross it for Matt Kerr. At our first stop, we'll check in with the GL keeper this evening. GL on the move right now. This is Jimmy Connors. Connors plays it up the left wing looking for Paviolitis. Paviolitis tries to run onto it. The fullback takes it away, then slips on the field, and certainly that will be a key factor this evening, footing.
Well, it's just a little bit slippery, and any time you try to make a real hard cut, you can expect to see a player slip like they did. There's another slip.
There's a GL player down. Paviolitis tries to feed it over to Richter.
Great opportunity there, bringing the ball just inside the area.
Light heads it back into the box, and it's cleared away. Kroll from midfield boots it all the way down, and we'll get our first chance to see Chris Esnes. Chris Esnes, 14 shutouts this season, only 12 goals allowed, and one of those was an own goal.
And as you see that goal kick going well past midfield, we might add, too, that there has been a swirling wind that when we were doing the open was going to left to right, but from what we see right now, it's going from right to left, but the wind will definitely be a factor tonight.
out of play. In the Hopewell nets, once again, Tim McCollum is a senior. He has recorded 10 shutouts this year, and he has allowed 19 goals. This is Light for Governor Livingston, number 11. He's marked down in the corner. Valenza for Hovell. Ball almost taken away by Turchetta.
Hopewell Valley doing a real nice job of passing the ball that time, but really not gaining too much to their advantage.
Vagell with the ball for Governor Livingston. He'll drop it off.
Well, it's very interesting, too. We talked that both teams' strengths come from the midfield, and as we've alluded to many times this year, as your midfield goes, so goes the game. So I think this game is going to be lost at the midfield today with both teams having such strong midfields.
Kroll kicks it up into the air. Head ball won by Governor Livingston. Good crossing ball, headed back towards the box, and McCollum will field it. Early stages of the Group 2 state championship. This is the first public school championship being contested here at Trenton State College. 3 more games will follow, 1 this evening, 2 tomorrow night. One of those games in Group 3 involves Scotch Plains, and that is a game that you will be seeing on TV3. The 2 parochial championships were contested on this field last evening. Throw in for the Highlanders, looking to go ahead quickly for Richter.
And to take it even a little further, Paul, on Saturday and on Monday we will contest the Group 1 through 4 girls championships also. And that's all sandwiched around the NCAA soccer and field hockey tournament in Division 3 being held here at Trenton State
That's
this
right.
week.
Division 3 soccer will be played on this field tomorrow.
It'll be a busy place.
Mike Roof is into the game for Governor Livingston, so we'll keep an eye on Roof. Off of Richter's foot, played away by Timperman. On the far side of the field, good crowd has joined us from Hopewell Valley Central High School, which is actually located in Pennington in Mercer County, and as I said, that's not even 10 minutes away from here. Just a little bit north of us on Route 31. Valenza with the ball, tries to play it up ahead. Turchetta for Governor Livingston tried to direct it away, got deflected back towards the middle, then it's cleared away by Roof. Foul called against the Highlanders, so Hopewell Valley will restart from about 40 yards away. Into the box, headed up, still a free ball, headed back towards the goal, just wide.
Wow, great opportunity. McCollum had come out, I'm sorry, you'll see here the ball come in, and the header is going to be taken right about here, and the ball rebounds right there to one of the Hopewell players, and the goalkeeper had committed, and the ball went off to the left, and fortunately for, the goalkeeper had gone to the left, and fortunately the ball was well to the right of the net.
If you watch that replay closely, you notice that Governor Livingston was really not that active on that play, and sort of, watched a little bit of what was going on. They can't afford to do that, against a team like Hopewell Valley, who is that offensive orientated.
Dangerous play. Well, this is what Bruno Somma said. He wanted to keep the ball on the ground. He feels that his team is a lot better with the one touch and building the ball from good short passes, and keeping the ball up in the air is not the game that Berkely Heights Governor Livingston wants to play.
Valenza, and Kerr is near him. And then a foul called against Governor Livingston, so Hopewell will restart from about 20 yards out. They're well to the right side of the net.
I believe that was a handball.
It was, and let's see if they have a set play on this one, or there'll be a shot on net. A little bit of a wide angle for a shot, but you never know.
Chipped into the box looking for Valenza, and Valenza just deflects it wide. Valenza asking for another handball. Won't get the officials to agree with him.
No, it's not going to be a shot. It is a set play. Nice little chip.
Excellent job.
Nice defense by Greg Richter.
And Valenza was incorrect in looking for that handball because there was no hands on the ball. It did go well clear of the
Good
Highlander
ball won
player.
by Paviolitis. Takes it in along the right side, tries to cross it in front, looking for Light. Deflected back out towards midfield there for Turchetta. Ball controlled by the Bulldogs. Strong kick by Vagell, and he forces McCallum to go up for that one.
Not a bad idea, getting the ball up like that. A little bit of wind can make the ball move, and as you said, made McCallum work a little bit, and have to go back on that ball to make the save.
Vagell again playing with a brace on his right leg. Certainly did not show any ill effects there on that long kick. Went about 45 yards. Play the ball into the box. Cleared away by the keeper. Either he or Timperman got near it. Connors was running onto the ball for the Highlanders.
McCallum did the nice thing coming out on that play because at the time it really looked like Governor Livingston had a great opportunity, but he cut the angle down.
Kroll sends a long ball through, but Roof is there for Governor Livingston. Little stutter step along the sidelines, pushes it up ahead for Iorio. Deflected ball, Richter trying to chase it for Governor Livingston, sends a long ball up ahead. Foot race is on, and is won by the Highlanders. Good speed by Paviolitis.
Paviolitis was about 10 yards behind the defender on the start of that play also.
Paviolitis gets the ball back, shoots with his right foot, hooking the ball, and a good save by McCallum on a tough curling shot by Paviolitis.
I'll tell you, McCallum did a great job. That ball was curving. I don't know whether the defender got a piece of the ball, but that was a possibility. But McCallum nevertheless did not overcommit, and he was right there to make the save.
Paviolitis looking for his 13th goal of the year.
It was a real nice shot. He hooked the ball, put a little spin to the right on it, and it was dropping at the same time. A real tough shot.
Put on top of that the wind we mentioned earlier and the somewhat suspect footing here on this AstroTurf.
Roof cleared it away. The hard part about the footing is, of course, since the teams don't play on turf, what type of shoes to wear. Some are wearing flats, some are wearing the multi-purpose spikes.
Just talking to both the officials before the game, that they both decided to wear flats, feeling they would get a little bit more traction on this because they also are used to wearing the regular spikes. Speaking of the officials, you notice for the first time the state of New Jersey highlighting the all black, which will now become the standard uniform for soccer officials in the state of New Jersey.
Throw in by the Bulldogs, looking for Kroll. Kroll gets his head on it. Crossed in front, ball is still live and taken out of the air and shot by Blackwell wide left.
Blackwell did a nice job first timing that ball, but as you said, Paul, it was just a little bit wide. Nice save on that ball. Here he comes, first time in it, and just wide to the left.
And again, what you mentioned earlier, Hugh, it seems like on defense there, the fullbacks and the stoppers for the Highlanders seemed a little bit tentative on approaching the ball and not really being too aggressive inside the area.
Lenzo takes the ball in deep, crosses with his left foot, looking for Kerr. Instead, it's cleared away by Turchetta for the Highlanders. Turchetta gets it out, and it's cleared away towards midfield, brought back in by the Bulldogs. Turchetta again with the high kick towards midfield. Paviolitis looking for it, as was Richter. And finally, it's played back by the Bulldogs. Now, I was talking about that shootout win by Governor Livingston against Hackettstown. 0-0 game. They go to the shootout. Paviolitis takes it in deep. He has Light on his right. Paviolitis
Nice
still in control. Dishes it back. Far side of the field. Anyway, very quickly, what happened in the shootout, each team scores their first three. Governor Livingston hits the fourth. The fourth shooter for Hackettstown was the goalie. He put on his jersey, but kept his baseball cap that he had been wearing as a goalie. Bruno Somma correctly noted that he could not wear the cap as a field player. The referee blew the whistle. The player did not hear it. He shot, scored, but then was told he had to reshoot, missed it the second time, and then Paul Koch hit the 5th goal, and that's how GL won 5-3.
And Matt Somma, certainly knowing the rules, kept his team in it with that one, and probably was should get one of the stars for the victory on that one.
Should credit him with a goal.
That was the second most interesting shootout story in New Jersey this year. Of course, the first was the Union East Side game, which went 10 kicks. The teams were tied. Darkness set in. The officials suspended it. They came back the next day. East Side shot, scored. Union shot, it was saved, and everybody went home. So they went there for a 5-minute game. And then the next day, they found out East Side had an ineligible player, so Union got a second life in the tournament. They were eventually eliminated by Columbia. In the box. Chipped back towards goal, and it's wide left. Esnes lets it roll through the goal.
And again, Hopewell showing much more aggressiveness inside that Governor Livingston penalty area. I think they've got to tighten up on their defense a little bit back there and be a little bit more aggressive approaching the ball on the 50-50 one.
Oh, you're right, John. They've given Hopewell too many opportunities and too many good shots, good shot opportunities. Not all of them have been good shots, but there's been too many.
Sends it up ahead for Blackwell. Blackwell taking off the ball, and we'll have a foul. Governor Livingston at one point this season was 14-0-1, and then they were beaten by North Plainfield 1-0. Since that time, GL has won 8 straight.
Well, there have been a lot of surprises this year to a lot of the Union County schools, seeing what Governor Livingston will do, but certainly they're not a surprise getting here with that kind of a record.
So the Bulldogs will get the restart. They're about 26 yards away. Again, the soccer goals are located on the end zone line of the football field here at Trenton State. Kroll with the left foot. Nice diving save. What a stop by Chris Esnes.
You saw on the restart there, I thought it was a direct kick, but it looked like they wanted to restart with just touching the ball. And interestingly enough, as you see there, he did in fact touch the ball. I thought it was direct, but I think they were looking for it as an indirect kick. If he just touches that ball and then the other one boots it into the goal, that's no goal because the ball didn't move its circumference. It's a small point, but it's very important.
It was an excellent shot. It looked from, it's hard to tell from our vantage point, but on the replay, it did look like it was going to be on goal, and a real nice save, too.
Throw in for Hopewell Valley. We are playing the blue lines that you see surrounding the field. Valenza, number 11. He's got Kerr on his left and Kroll on his right. He feeds it to Kroll. Kroll fought off the ball by Turchetta, but we've got a whistle. And the foul will be called against Kroll. Restart Governor Livingston.
Yeah, Kroll, when he came in on the play and they were going one-on-one, he threw a little bit too much elbow up high, and he was caught by George Rossi, and the ball will go back up for the Highlanders.
Hopewell Valley 17-3-3. They have won 6 in a row under Stan Davis and 10 of their last 11, and that includes a tie with Princeton.
Interesting talking with the coaches. Hugh and I were talking with the coaches before the game, and we kind of standard things we ask the coaches to get an idea about what they're going to do during the game, and strong points, weak points. And one of the interesting things was, what would you do to improve your game? And Stan Davis was very interesting. He says, boy, I'd like to get some of those great international players.
Valenza tries to chip it up.
And not to disagree with Stan, but I think you've seen the quality in soccer here in the United States, especially here in New Jersey, which has always been a hotbed of soccer, improving in leaps and bounds in the last few years.
Scott Goldsmith throws it in. On the return ball, Goldsmith sends it in deep, but no one there. I think he was looking for Kroll to make a run, but the Bulldogs get a break, and that GL knocks the ball out. Throw in for Hopewell Valley. 24 minutes left in the first half of the Group 2 state championship game. Hopewell Valley nothing, Governor Livingston nothing. Headed towards the goal line. Good hustle
See John Skoris indicating that was not a corner kick, that's going to be a throw-in.
Well, a good hustle prevented the corner kick.
With this wind swirling today, corner kick's very dangerous no matter which direct side of the field it comes from.
Todd Swengo throws it in for the Bulldogs, and it's finally cleared away by Governor Livingston out towards midfield. Timperman heads it back in. Kroll heads it back towards the goal.
Interesting as that ball was cleared by the defense. The Highlander defense was very slow coming back upfield, and if they had been a little bit quicker in bringing the ball back up, they would have caught Hopewell in an offsides position. But that wasn't the case, and results in a dangerous throw-in.
Again, Swengo with the throw, looking for Kroll. And it is headed by Kroll beyond the goal line. Goal kick, Governor Livingston. Governor Livingston this year, the Union County Tournament champs. They defeated Westfield in the championship game 2-1. Jeremy Vagell scored a goal that day, as did Ryan Haldeman. Drew Mills is into the game for Hopewell Valley. Drew Mills wearing number 15.
See here, Governor Livingston doing what they like to do, the short pass, building from the backside.
Long ball through the box. Timperman is going to chase it down.
You see that black rim all around the edge of the field. That's asphalt, and it is extremely slippery there. And the field supervisors warned both teams that try to keep your players off of that because it is extremely slippery, and if you're going for a throw-in or normal flow of play takes you off the field, try to stay off that asphalt.
Slippery because, of course, the players are wearing spikes, so they don't have any traction on it.
Right, and of course...
The rain, of course, adds to that a little bit. Long ball played for Valenza. Valenza, the senior, tries to cross it for Mills. Ball goes through the GL defense. Turchetta got crossed up in his footing there, but played nicely by the left fullback.
GL, when they do get the offensive play, they've been trying to spread the game out, Hugh. I think trying to split that Hopewell defense a little bit. But
well, they're trying to do that, and they're trying to spread it out and use the skills that they have, as far as to be able to pass the ball and work the ball well.
Well, I think if you get to spread the defense out a little bit, I think it's going to give your offensive player a much better chance to make the runs, find the gaps.
Well, this type of field is also an advantage to a real skillful team. Any team that's very skillful, you know, your Shawnees and Cliftons and things like that, love to play on a field like this because they can open it wide open.
Bruno Somma, 4 years ago, started 8 freshmen and actually did fairly well. They were 8-7-5 this club as freshmen, actually qualified for the state tournament, and eventually lost to Milburn, the eventual champions. But those 8 freshmen certainly have matured under Bruno Somma and his assistant coach, Herb Knull. Throw in Highlanders. Governor Livingston High School, located in Berkely Heights in Union County. Paviolitis tries to set it up. Timperman clears it away. He's a member of the regional school district in Union County, so students from different communities can go to Governor Livingston, but generally most of the students are from Berkely Heights.
Beautiful,
far side of the field.
Beautiful school that sits up on top of the Watchung Mountains, overlooks Watchung Reservation and Route 78. It's a gorgeous location up there.
Ball still in play, kept alive by the Highlanders. Tom Phillips. Roof traps it, settles the ball, tries to direct it back towards midfield. One there by Hopewell Valley.
Now, Hugh, it appears that Hopewell is winning the battle of the midfield because every time Governor Livingston brings that ball out, it seems that Hopewell is marking closely to the ball and able to bring it back in again.
I think so. And it's resulted in them having a few more of the better of the play near the Governor Livingston goal, also, and a couple opportunities to score.
Very difficult to read this wind because on one end of the field it shows the wind blowing to the left. On the other end it shows it blowing to the right, so it is obviously swirling down there.
All the more reason to keep the ball on the ground.
Well, this is what Governor Livingston has been trying to do, but right now they're being pretty well bottled up by that Hopewell midfield. Both teams physically good-sized teams. Even though these are Group 2 schools, you have a lot of good physical size to both squads.
Roof clears it away, or hits off his foot.
That appears that it will be called a corner kick.
And it will be.
And I don't want to jinx this by saying this, but you know, we're a little more than halfway through this first half, and this has been a very clean, well-fought game thus far.
Very few fouls called. You're absolutely right.
Paviolitis wins the ball.
He's a great player. He's got a lot of speed.
Knocked to the ground. However, GL still controls it. Played out on the wing for Turchetta. Turchetta, long ball, looking for Paviolitis. He's all over the place. Crosses the ball, looking for Light. Tipped up in the air. And a foul called against Governor Livingston. I'll tell you that Jim Paviolitis, he is all over the place.
Got great speed. He ran the length of this field making that play. He beat two of the Hopewell defenders, bringing the ball upfield on close challenges, was knocked to the ground, and then when Turchetta brought it all the way in from the wing, who was there but Paviolitis?
He's another one of those four-year starters.
And he ran that ball down. Most players wouldn't have gotten there, but he did.
And again, just to add, that's a difficult thing to do here on the turf. On grass, the ball slows down, you catch up to it. Here on the turf, it will keep rolling.
That it will, and I've been impressed with Paviolitis' speed, too. He's got tremendous, tremendous speed. I look to that to possibly be a factor later on in the game, especially with the way they spread the game out.
Light turns it up ahead. Paviolitis looking to go in the middle, no one there. GL has made a slight change in that Jimmy Connors is now playing more in midfield or up front. He had been slated to start in the defense, and Preston Light is playing back more. Matter of fact, he's right now playing the right fullback. No one can gain control of the ball on the far side of the pitch.
So a lot of close marking there. You see a delayed whistle on a push from behind by Governor Livingston. The restart going to Hopewell.
There's Jimmy Connors, a junior, 2 goals, 1 assist this year for the Highlanders.
As you can see in the background, a good crowd here tonight, Paul.
And Herb Knull told me that just like the tennis player, the soccer player Jimmy Connors is a lefty.
Oh, misheaded.
Blackwell has a shot from about 15 yards away. It wasn't deflected, he just hit it wide. Morgan Blackwell, a senior. He has an opening here, Hugh.
Yes, he does. He gets past the one defender, he sees an opening, and you can see right away he's going to take the shot, and he goes for it, but not the best shot in the world, but nonetheless it was a shot. He had the opening and he took it.
You can see the effect that the wind is now having on the ball. Esnes had the ball set up for a goal kick, and before he even got to the ball, the wind made it start to roll towards him. So restarts will be difficult also. We saw that up at Robeson Stadium in the ECT final.
Yeah, and you notice the ball started to roll towards him, which means that the wind has shifted direction somewhat on the field. Or again, it was left to right, it's right to left. It is swirling down there because sometimes it's rolling to our left, and difficult to determine it.
Approximately 32 yards away. Valenza is there, Kroll is there, and Mills, and it will be Kroll. He will chip it ahead. They tried this play earlier. GL ready for it. Timperman heads it back towards the offense.
You mentioned the restarts, a set play like that. I think you're going to maybe get away with that once, but in a game like this, Governor Livingston saw that play once already. I think they might be better off trying to just take a quick shot on goal rather than the restart. Of course, it's easy for us to say up here.
Second corner kick coming up. They go for the short kick.
And so the short corner is naturally you increase your angle as the shot on goal.
Ball was played back to Matt LaFond.
A large field like this, Hugh, I don't know if the short corner is such a great advantage because you still got a good deal of distance to the goal.
Well, my way of thinking,
looking in front, ball headed, and is in! Jon Valenza has put Hopewell Valley in front on the header over the outstretched arm of Chris Esnes.
Chris Esnes had come out on that ball when Valenza came in and got the header. Esnes kept moving back, but it was too late. The ball was over his head, and we have a 1-0 ball game.
For Jon Valenza, his 18th goal of the season. Here's another look at it.
We'll get to see the play again.
This is Kroll.
Pushes it outside.
That is Erik Stauffer.
Down the wing.
Stauffer goes to Mills, who settles the ball.
You see Mills look up there. I don't know if he was looking for Valenza.
There's the head. You see Esnes is out. He's caught out and can't recover to get back in time.
So,
and any place on the field is a good place to take that shot. Valenza was almost at the 18-yard line when he took that header, so he was about 16 yards out on the header.
So it is Valenza from Mills with 12:40 to go in the first half. Hopewell Valley with the 1-0 lead.
Of course, Valenza gets credit for it, but Mills did put that ball in the right spot, Hugh.
Well, it was good short passing. We saw the passing from Kroll to Mills, even Stauffer in there. So again, good crisp short passing by Hopewell Valley sets up the first goal of the game.
Well, we knew that Hopewell Valley was capable of scoring with all the goals they've scored, and they've proven it so far that they've had some nice opportunities, and then that goal.
Connors looking to play it through for Richter. Richter turns with the left foot. His shot partially deflected and played by McCollum.
He was marked closely. The defender was on him. He might have turned that to his weak side because he looked a little off balance. The shot was very weak, and McCollum easily came up with it.
Here we have a push from behind against Hopewell.
Governor Livingston elected to take a short restart, maybe catch the defense up.
Paviolitis tries to get past his man. He does by a step. Off of Timperman, it will be a corner kick for the Highlanders, their first.
Well, Governor Livingston wanted to get the ball to Paviolitis and let him do something, and he did. And he didn't get the ball in the middle, but at least he gets a corner out of it.
Paviolitis will take the corner. Paul Turchetta is right on the goal line. Turchetta backing up, headed in the air, and then cleared away in front.
Wow, McCallum was out on that. It looked like it was cleared right in front of the goal, but the Hopewell defense got the head on it first and cleared it out. Still not out of danger.
Turchetta sends it back towards the middle, headed away there by Swango. I believe it was Swango who headed it away from in front of the goal on the corner kick. And Roof is called for the foul, jumping in against Kroll. There is McCollum. He punched the ball the first time, and then by being at the far post, he was out of the way. And again, I believe it was Swango who saved them with the header. We're going to look at it.
You'll see here the corner taken, and it's almost to the far side of the goal. You'll suddenly see McCallum come up there to punch the ball, and I don't think his intentions were to punch it in front of his own net, but that's what he did. But fortunately, it was his own side that got to the ball first.
And it was the junior Todd Swango who cleared the ball away from the goal line. 1-0 to score, under 10 minutes in the first half. Hopewell Valley in front.
That's taking nothing away from McCallum on punching that ball away. He was marked closely by one of the Governor Livingston attackers.
Mills stops, settles the ball, left foot,
Offside.
offsides.
You could see well offsides. It was a good 10, 11 yards. It appeared to be Jon Valenza, who was looking for his second goal, but a little over anxious.
You see Valenza's right thigh heavily taped.
Well, this late in the season, it's almost to be expected. It's part of the game, the injuries.
Good move for the Highlanders by Haldeman. Tipperman chasing it down. Corner kick.
See that corner kick called. Somebody trying to help the officials. You hear one saying white, another buddy saying let it go, and but the official right on it with the corner kick flag.
Paviolitis sets it up. A low ball well away from the goal.
Well, that ball started rolling with the wind before he kicked it, so he probably lost a little bit of the aim on it, the setup.
Roof tries to direct it in for Vagell.
It was a nice little tap by Roof to bring that ball in. Hopefully catching Vagell breaking through.
Mike Roof. There you see Paul Turchetta, 2-year starter.
Turchetta, another one of those good seniors that dominate this Governor Livingston lineup.
Connors marked by Swango. Connors crossing it for Paviolitis. Paviolitis stepped on his man and just sends it wide left. A difficult situation because in reality, and of course we've got a great view up here, he had all day to turn around, set up, and pick a corner. Obviously he doesn't know that. You'll see it on the replay.
You'll see Paviolitis making a wonderful move there. He turns around looking at the ball, not realizing there's no defenders near him. He has McCallum coming out. He hurried his shot. It went clear. And you saw his hands on his head, and we did exactly the same move with our hands on our heads. We couldn't believe that he had missed it.
Yeah, as the man taking his shot, Hugh, you've got to believe that there's 2 and 3 defenders around you when you're only about 8 yards out.
Well, he realized as soon as the shot was taken and was off that there was nobody there, and he did have a lot of time and really almost could have walked the ball in.
Tipperman deflects it off of Richter. It will be a throw-in for Hopewell Valley. 1-0, Hopewell Valley leads, 6:47 to go in the first half.
You sometimes wonder whether a teammate can help you out on a play like that, telling you you're open, but I think a play like that happens so fast, you don't have a time for a teammate to help you out on it. You just react and do it.
No, you're right, John. There isn't a lot of time to get any type of direction.
Connors crosses with his left foot looking for Paviolitis, cleared away in front by Nemeth.
I believe that was cleared by the defense, so it looks like we're going to have a corner kick here.
GL with their third corner, and again it will be Paviolitis setting it up.
And although they're down 1-0, they certainly are dangerous. We saw that just a moment ago.
Kroll clears away the corner. Roof directs it back towards the area. Tipperman sweeps it away.
You can see how the wind catches that ball as he cleared the ball very hard, very high, but it didn't get the distance that he wanted.
Paviolitis directs it for Richter, but McCallum comes up with it. 5:44 left in the first half. I'm Paul Spahala, with me Hugh Albanesius and John Marcy. You're watching the Group 2 State Championship from Trenton State College. Hopewell Valley 1, Governor Livingston nothing.
Governor Livingston's going to have to challenge more on these high balls. Hopewell Valley's getting the major percentage of them, and that's...
But if you've noticed, Governor Livingston has put on a lot more pressure in the last 5 or 6 minutes and been down in the Hopewell Valley end of the field.
And they'll get a chance for their fourth corner kick.
Well, you're right. I think their offense is much more deliberate, and I think once they find themselves, I think they'll put a little bit more pressure on in the second half.
No one pinching in. Out of play, goal kick.
In most fields, that ball would have gone over the touchline, but this being such a wide field that the midfielder was able to come up and get the touch on it. Not able to control it and keep it in, but nevertheless did get a play on it.
I think Coach Somma is unhappy because of no player being on that far side.
Hopewell Valley looking for their second state championship. They defeated Milburn 3-2 back in 1989 on this field.
Right here.
GL had to defeat Millburn to reach the sectional final. They won that game 2-1, and gentlemen, in Millburn style this year, GL took a lead with 4 minutes to go. Millburn tied it. Millburn was the never say die team in the state this year, scored a lot of late goals, but as it turned out, GL came back and scored 1 minute later to eventually win that game. Connors scored that goal, and that advanced GL to the sectional final.
You're right, Millburn had a knack of scoring a lot of goals late.
You allude to their come-from-behind victory against Livingston in the Essex County quarterfinal, and then their come-from-behind tie against West Essex in the Essex County final this year.
Twice come from behind tie. 3:30 to go in the first half.
I think you're going to see a push from behind called by George Rossi on the far side of the field, and it'll be a restart for the Highlanders.
Governor Livingston is shooting tonight for their 4th state championship. They won in 1977. In 79, they beat Freehold Borough 3-2, and then they beat Freehold Borough 3-0 back in 1984. Matter of fact, that 1984 team, we talked about Herb Knull before. His son, Steve Knull, was a big part of that team for head coach Bill Howard. Cleared out of play. Throw in Governor Livingston. They trail by 1, 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Paviolitis dishes it off for Vagell. Vagell crosses it in front, headed by Timperman. He's played a solid game at sweeper.
But that cross, you saw that low, quick cross. That's what Governor Livingston has to do. They keep doing that. They're going to find a crack in that Hopewell defense. That kind of pressure you can't live with all day long.
Paul Cook.
With the night that Paviolitis is having, I'd look to go to him as much as possible. Not only has he got great speed, but he has great ball control, and he can do some real nice things with the ball.
So what you're saying is maybe look to that right side and capitalize on that a little bit here. You also mentioned before about Coach Somma being unhappy about nobody being wide. I think they've got to spread that offense out a little bit and keep somebody wide to also spread the defense.
Well, that goes without saying, as we see one of the Governor Livingston players down, and time is stopped to attend to his injury. But you have to have somebody wide. If you don't, I don't care what kind of field it is, it's a pet peeve of mine. You got to have somebody wide to get the ball that comes through. Otherwise, it's just a wasted chance.
Vagell is the injured player for Governor Livingston. He's being helped up by Bruno Somma.
Of course, Vagell has had a nagging knee injury.
Coming up this weekend on TV3, not only do the soccer teams are playing for the state championships, but in Central Jersey Group 1, the football semifinals will get underway. And you will see Keensburg take on South River in front of the TV3 cameras. Saturday the 19th at 10:30, Monday the 21st at 8:30, and Thursday the 24th at 12:30. These two played in the regular season. South River won 14-7. Ball played into the penalty box, headed up, and then kicked wide by Blackwell. One quick note on that South River Keensburg game. South River head coach Rich Marchese, when I was preparing for the game, said, "Paul, hide the women and kids. It was a war last time, and it will be again." Two big physical teams.
On that last header, you saw Blackwell was unmarked as that ball came down. It was almost like the Governor Livingston players didn't realize where the ball was. Easy to jump in on the backside. Just about a minute to go. Governor Livingston's going to try and get the equalizer here, but the Hopewell Valley defense up to the task.
Looking for Connors. He runs onto it and saves the ball. Governor Livingston team, a lot of fast players. And they never give up on the ball.
That ball cleared over, throw in for the Highlanders.
Under a minute, 32 seconds to go in the first half. 1-0, Hopewell Valley.
Congratulations to these fans coming out on a cold, blustery, and threatening rain night. When
Hopewell Valley won the Group 2 championship back in 1989, Among the players on the field was Greg Kroll's brother Brian, who was the goalkeeper for the Bulldogs that year. And Greg Kroll said he and some of his current teammates came down to watch that game, and they said it was a great experience just to watch. And he said maybe we'll get a chance to play in the game. Well, they are playing in it, and thanks to a goal by Jon Valenza, number 11, Governor Livingston is trailing at this point 1-0 to Hopewell Valley. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with our second half right after this.
Hi, I'm your host, Michael Young, and this is Animals A to Z.
Are you an animal lover?
This is Nala. She's a 9-week-old African lion cub.
Are you curious about our four-legged friend?
He is a drug-smelling pig.
Join host Michael Young for everything you want to know about animals A to Z.
Welcome back, everyone. The Bulldogs of Hopewell Valley lead at the half 1-0 in this boys Group 2 state championship game. And here is the only goal of the contest off some nice passing.
Well, you see the ball coming from Kroll out to the wing. It's passed to Mills. Mills just moves the ball up a little bit, the left foot. He crosses over, and watch Jen Valenza streaking in between the defenders, puts a header on, catches Estes as he was out, as he was trying to back up. He didn't get back in time. The ball was in the net. And that's the story after 40 minutes of play, 1-0.
And as we've said many times, that's one of the toughest balls to make a save on for a goalie, having to back up and try and make the save.
Coming up this weekend on TV3, we've got a couple football games to tell you about. In addition to Keensburg South River, we'll televise the Section 2 Group 4 semi between Montclair and Union. You can watch that game Saturday evening, Sunday morning at 9:30, and Thursday the 24th, Thanksgiving afternoon at 3. And speaking of Thanksgiving Day or night football, as the case here, Colonial Woodbridge, they're playing Wednesday nights, the Thanksgiving Eve. You can watch this game on Thanksgiving evening at 9 p.m., Saturday the 26th at 7:30, and Sunday the 27th at 9:30 in the morning. The second part of the Thanksgiving Day doubleheader is Immaculate Glen Ridge, and you can see this one Thanksgiving night at 6:30, Saturday the 26th at 10, and Sunday night at 7. The delay in the start of this game, and oh, this is going to make the coaches thrilled.
Well,
each team that comes in is given a chance to be photographed in one of the goals.
And that appears to be the Shylock team from down in South Jersey that's going to be playing Madison Borough in the second.
Seniors in back. So the teams are getting their pictures taken while the Group 2 game is waiting to be played. That will get some interesting comments from the coaches, I'm sure.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Paul, this being a very active surface over the next 3 or 4 days with NCAA Division III play, with NJSIAA both boys and girls play, maybe that's the only time they can get the pictures in between halves.
Well, yeah, between halves. How about not in the second half? Anyway, we are underway.
And of course, the teams change sides. Hopewell in the gold and black, going from our left to right.
Good communication by Chris Esnes. He called off his defender there and took the ball out of the air. This is the third state championship game being played on this turf in the last 2 days. Yesterday, Morris Catholic defeated Wildwood Catholic 3-0 for the parochial B title. And also St. Joe's knocked out Don Bosco Prep 1-0 to win the parochial A championship. Shylock, as you just saw, with all smiles and everything, they'll take on Madison Borough in the Group 1 final immediately after this game. Tomorrow, Lawrence plays Scotch Plains, Clifton against Cherry Hill West. That's for the Group 4 crown. Swengo will throw it in for the Bulldogs.
Good throw on this very wide field.
Headed beyond the goal line by Governor Livingston, so it will be a corner kick coming up for the Bulldogs.
You get to see the throw in again. Good throw, deep. There's the head.
And you see Iorio coming out to do a nice job heading that ball away. He hadn't heard from Esnes on that, and if he doesn't hear from him, he's going to try to clear that ball, and that's what he did.
That's right. If there's no direction, you better get rid of the ball somewhere.
And over the goal line is okay as long as it's not between the posts.
There is a number 21 out on the field for Hopewell Valley. I'm going to guess that he's Andrew Carden, who originally was number 20, who I haven't seen throughout the evening. But you would hope that 24 games into the season, you'd have your roster set, because neither us nor the PA announcer had it. So our guess is that Andrew Carden is wearing number 21. It's only the state championship. 3 minutes in. Well, we think that's him. 1-0 Hopewell Valley. And then they wonder why they don't get publicity.
Ball cleared over by Hopewell. Good opportunity here for the Highlanders with the throw-in. Oh,
nice play by Paviolitis.
Paviolitis, who worked so well on the right side in the first half, over here on the left side in the second half. And he stays in the play as it looks like he's going to take the corner kick also.
This will be the 5th corner kick for the Highlanders. GL wants to make a substitution, and they will go to the bench. Ryan Haldeman is in.
And what's happening here is it's difficult with the officials both way upfield and the good crowd here to hear the calls for the substitutions.
Foul against Governor Livingston.
As tends to be the case, George Rossi, who is the trail official on that play, came all the way up to the 18, showing good teamwork by the officials on this.
Haldeman's ball cleared away by Kroll. It'll stay in play. Good hustle by both players. Hopewell Valley wins the ball. Kroll tries to chase it down. It's cleared out of touch. Throw in for the Bulldogs. Swango will take the throw in.
You hear the music in the background as Hopewell cheers their team on.
Out in front, shot by Blackwell, knocked away by Esnes, and he was point blank. Esnes with the great save.
He was point blank on that, and Esnes made that save with his feet as the ball, his feet appeared to be going off to the one side and the top of his body going the other way, and the quick reflexes, he was able to get his feet on the ball and deflect it from going in, and it certainly looked like it was on net.
Oh, it certainly was on net. I had the line on it from here, and it was a good shot.
Esnes doing the job that he's supposed to do. You'll see here, the ball cleared out, the shot turned around, gets to the loose man, and you can see right there, Esnes gets his feet on the ball as the shot was taken, I guess for all intents and purposes, point blank as it was taken from the 6-yard line, slight angle to Esnes's left.
But it was a nice coverage by Esnes. He went down and he made a lot, he blocked a lot more of the goal than if he was standing up. And, you know, the best place for that shot would have been the upper right-hand corner. But as we said, that's easy to say now.
Monday morning quarterbacking, so to speak, is what sports is all about.
1-0 the score. Hopewell Valley with the lead. They just had a good opportunity stopped by Chris Esnes. GL had their best opportunity late in the first half when Jim Paviolitis won a 50-50 ball about 8 yards away, turned quickly and fired a shot wide left. Those have been the major scoring threats this evening.
Well, miscommunication there being between Turchetta and Vagell.
In midfield, Vogel has it. He has Paviolitis on his right. Nice soft touch pass to him. Paviolitis fakes the give and go, brings it in deep, crosses it, and it was deflected away, so we will get a corner kick.
Some of the fans got on the Governor Livingston side, saw it hit the side of the net and thought it was in for just a second. But you can see on some of these passes the speed here. The ball gets ahead of them a little too much. They're used to a slower surface.
Paviolitis starts it up off of Richter's foot. Turchetta with the left foot directs it back towards Richter. Misplayed there. Paviolitis crosses it in front, and McCallum has to dive onto it. I believe Connors deflected that one.
I think you're right, Paul. We get to see it again.
Great job bringing it to the outside like that.
Pushed across, and Hopewell can't contain it. And here's the shot.
Oh, the defender hit it.
Well, Swango originally trying to clear the ball, kind of got his feet tied up. The ball got past him, and it came in from the far side.
The official sponsor of the 1994 NJSIAA Soccer Championship here at Preston Light. Special thanks to NatWest Bank.
Vagell crosses.
Great cross.
Swango clears it out in front.
Swango putting that ball well up in the air, but that cross that came from the middle third of the field really split the defense nicely.
Throw in Highlanders. Looking deep for Connors. Connors crosses it with the left foot.
You saw the push there. Jeremy was a little aggressive at getting to the ball and pushed the defender as he was trying to.
It was either a push or a dangerous play. Maybe both.
Either way, it's going to be Hopewell's ball on the restart.
Hopewell Valley Bulldogs looking for their second ever state championship. They scored 76 goals in the Colonial Valley Conference this year. That was a league high. Stan Davis said the season actually didn't start out well offensively. They were winning but not scoring a lot, but he said a couple games into the season, the offense took over for the Bulldogs.
Great self-lead.
Crossing ball beyond the goal line.
There again, you can see the speed of the ball rolling on this turf. It's harder for the players to set up on a rolling ball because they're not judging the speed the same as they would as if it was on natural grass.
Remember that tomorrow night on this field, you will get a chance to either come down and watch the Group 3 championship, or you can see it on TV3. Lawrence takes on Scotch Plains. You'll see this one Sunday night at 7:30, Monday the 21st at 3:30 in the afternoon, and then again Thursday the 24th at 10:30 in the morning. Two TV3 area teams advancing to the state soccer championships. One other school had a chance. That was Columbia in Group 4. They were eliminated in the state semifinal by Clifton.
Clifton, one school that many of the soccer experts here in the state of New Jersey may think is the strongest high school team in the state of New Jersey. Certainly they're an excellent, excellent squad.
Paviolitis trying to run onto the ball. Timperman gets in his way. And the ball is cleared out of touch. Throw in GL.
Governor Livingston, so far in this second half, has had certainly the greater opportunities. And of course, in state championship play, if we are tied at the end of regulation, we will play 2 10-minute overtimes, and if we are tied after that, we go home co-champions.
A terrible rule.
Well, there's been a lot of debate about that. There's been a lot of debate about that over the years, Paul, about whether we should have the co-champions or not, and the powers that be, whether we agree or disagree, and I tend to be on your side a little bit also, but I think what happens is we get this time of year, as late as it gets, as the ball goes through everybody and goes over the end for, believe it's going to be a corner kick.
And it will be.
But I think the feelings that come from the powers that dictate is that you've gotten this far, and if you've played 100 minutes of soccer, then that should be enough, and a half a piece of the pie is better than none.
Cleared away from in front by the Bulldogs. Matt LaFond getting it out of danger.
Governor Livingston fans you can hear in the background exhorting their team on as the Governor Livingston Highlanders have been putting on the pressure, but Hopewell Valley breaks out.
Greg Kroll with some running room. Koch tries to mark him, as does Light, and then it's cleared away by Vagell.
Vagell saw the onrushing Hopewell Valley players, didn't have time to turn around to see that he was clear, and he did what was the best thing at the time, was to get the ball out.
Has not rained since that brief 15-minute shower that we had, about a half hour before game time. So Gordon is not a visitor yet. Strong throw in. Esnes comes out, dives onto the ball.
Esnes was obstructed off that play, and they're going to be given the ball on a restart. Esnes dangerous coming out on that ball with two attacking players in front of him.
Well, he came out strong, though. He knew what he was doing.
Phillips throws it in.
Good sportsmanship shown there by Paviolitis as they were fighting hard for the ball, and he took the foul.
Paviolitis very impressive this evening. Bruno Somma, his head coach, says, I've got to believe he's one of the best players in the state of New Jersey, and he certainly has shown that he's got the skills.
That he is. He's outstanding ball player and showing good sportsmanship on that last play just before this restart.
Well, we've seen his speed, we've seen his skills. Down at the far end, to our left, a little while ago, we saw his determination going for a ball up in the air, and he wasn't going to stop.
Timperman with the restart. And we've got a foul against Hopewell Valley. Blackwell called.
That was a quick play. Blackwell coming in behind the play, couldn't get on the ball, and a little bit too much hands on the defender going up to head the ball, and the push was called.
26-20 left in the game.
Although we've had just those two fouls there, it's been an extremely clean, well-played game, Hugh.
Yes, it has. A credit to both teams, and it's a credit to both coaches.
John, what I was thinking of, with the gentleman between us and with Bruno Somma, a 4-year player here at Trenton State, boy, we've got the great makings of a Trenton State old-timers game.
Well, Bruno might not think that.
Bruno would be great. I don't know about the other guy.
Bruno, 4 years here at Trenton State, graduated in '79. Gary Hindley was his coach. And Bruno, a former Brearley Bear, where he played under Al Zaya. Considers Al one of his best friends in the coaching ranks. As a matter of fact, when GL won the North semifinal on Tuesday, Al Zaya was one of the many coaches in attendance watching and cheering for the Highlanders. Mills.
Nice move by Mills to take that ball away.
Players fight for it, play on.
Good no call by the official on that. Oh, nope, there was a call on it.
No, the ball went out. There was no
went
call.
out, okay.
Headed high into the stands.
Fifth-year head coach, Bruno Somma. We have a stoppage on the clock.
This is their 4th straight appearance.
I think the Hopewell Valley mascot is being asked to vacate the area behind the goal. That's what we're stopped for.
The Bulldog with his tail between his legs.
As the officials, and rightly so, have excluded anybody from behind the goals. Although I don't think he's harassing the goalkeeper, it certainly can be a disturbing thing, and the officials telling the mascot, you've got to go.
John, he lifted his leg on the net. If that's not harassment, I don't know what is. 24-30 left in the game. Swango will throw it in for the Bulldogs.
Excellent throw.
Nice head by Roof. Richter clears it up for the Highlanders.
Drew Mills showing a lot of fortitude in this second half. He has the assist on the only goal of this game by Jon Valenza. Good move by Paviolitis.
Right-footed shot looking for the upper corner.
He
was parried away by McCallum. That one was just drilled for the upper corner with a good curve on it.
I'll tell you what, not only was he looking for the upper corner, he had the upper corner. You'll see here on the replay, as the shot is taken, that ball is curving in all the way, and if McCallum wasn't there to make the save, that was going to be a 1-1 game.
Just when we think we've seen everything from Jim Paviolitis, he shows us a little bit more.
This is the 8th corner. Headed back and in. Yes, it does go in. Jimmy Connors to hit the tying goal for the Governor Livingston Highlanders.
And the assist goes, I believe, on that one to that man we've been talking about all day long, Jim Paviolitis, off the corner, or was it touched by another Highlander player?
3rd goal of the season for Connors, and I believe it's directly off the corner kick. We'll get another look at it. Paviolitis with the corner, Jimmy Connors with the goal. Here's the tire.
You get to see it again, and watch carefully. Yes.
Oh, there is a header on it.
That was Connors.
It was, yes.
And as you can see, Vagell was there to punch it home if need be, but didn't have to. Jimmy Connors with the goal at 23:08 off the corner kick from Jim Paviolitis.
And Jim Paviolitis with the great corner there. Connors getting his head on the ball, goes into the far corner. This team has been knocking on the door all through this second half, and they finally get to dent the nets.
For Paviolitis, that is assist number 19 on the season. And again, for Connors, it is his 3rd goal.
Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot of soccer left here this evening.
22:53 to go. Again, that goal came at the 23:08 mark. And now they're up and cheering on the near sidelines for the Highlanders. That was the 8th corner kick taken by GL this evening, and it becomes a successful one.
Again, a throw in for the Highlanders. No, not for the Highlanders.
Called off of Paviolitis.
Really low for the Highlanders of Governor Livingston Regional High School, number 9, Connors.
And there's Connors with the ball and a foul. That will be a GL restart.
And GL with a great opportunity here from about 30 yards out. They're almost straight on to the goal, slight angle to the left of McCallum. With the football markings, call it 34 yards.
Vagell is there. Paviolitis takes the shot. High.
Why are we not surprised that it was Paviolitis?
Didn't surprise me. I would have been surprised if it was anything else.
He's been an outstanding player in every aspect of the game today. You'll see here on the restart, 2 people faking across the ball. Paviolitis taking the restart. He's on net through the uprights, but he's about 3 yards too high.
I'm a little, after what I've seen from him, I'm a little disappointed in that one. I thought he'd have that one on goal, but it just goes to show he's human too.
Well, he wins a corner kick on that play. He played it off the fullback.
Well, sometimes the restarts where you would expect them to have the shot, those are the ones that oftentimes we see go high. It seems like those reflexive things are the ones that go in the goal.
This is the 5th corner kick of the half for Governor Livingston. Right at Kroll.
Not that corner kicks count, but it certainly is an indication of the offensive play that Governor Livingston has had here in the second half. Jim Paviolitis taking the throw in. You hear McCollum in the background yelling, away, away.
Handball.
Handball as it was controlled by the Governor Livingston player, brought to his feet. Restart will go to the Bulldogs.
Connors, who has the game-tying goal for Governor Livingston. Through ball.
What a great through ball he had there. It had the defense split, but the attacking player wasn't able to get to it.
Under 20 minutes now in regulation. Vagell. His pass knocked away.
Slowly but surely, this midfield for the Highlanders is beginning to take over the game as they start to clear the ball back in. They challenge everything up in the air where they weren't doing that in the first half, Hugh.
Roof heads it back towards midfield. This is Mills. Looking for Kroll. Kroll deep along the left side. Marked by Koch. Richter clears it away from in front.
Sure as that ball split the defense and went right through it. Was heart-stopping for Bruno Somma, but the defense did pick it up on the left side.
Good punt by Esnes. Wind still strong, coming towards the near touchline. Preston Light keeps it in play. And now it's out. Light will throw it in for GL.
Entering the game, Jason Iorio for the Highlanders.
Vogel will head to the bench.
Vogel resting that sore knee a little bit. I'm sure he'll be back again.
Paviolitis looking to cross. And a whistle. A push against Hopewell Valley. Called against Blackwell.
Oh, that was
Rubenstein.
That was made by the far side official, as George Rossi had no call, but certainly he can't see through, and John Shorris on the far side of the field saw the push and he called it.
Iorio chips it into the box. Cleared by Rubenstein. Connors directs it up for Richter. Settled by Haldeman. Throw in, GL.
Incredible pressure being put on by the Highlanders now.
Koch will throw it in. Paul Koch.
It appears that the goal that they got really sparked them, and they've really come alive after that goal.
Yeah, you know, it's funny sometimes, Hugh, that a lot of teams, after they score a goal, they have a little lapse there, but this seems to have really brought the Highlanders back to life, because they've really been putting the pressure on them.
Governor Livingston is currently ranked number 6 in the state by the North Star Ledger.
See a portion of that great crowd we've got here. That's on the far side of the field, the smaller of the two stands here. Just as many people on this side of the field, and needless to say, as you look there, you see some of the Hopewell fans shirtless on this cold night.
Well, it could be worse. You know, we've had colder nights, but this one still got to be a little chilly out there.
I think, Paul, you've alluded to several times we've been down here in past years when the weather has been less than pleasant, and compared to some of those nights, this has been a walk in the park.
Yeah, the one time that really stands out in my mind, a good 5 years or so ago, when Westfield won the Group 4 crown in a driving rainstorm. And the image of George Kapner just sopping wet on the sidelines, happy about the win, is something that sticks in my mind.
Oh, I think what impresses me was when George Kapner came up into the booth and gave both of us a hug, and we were dry up until that point.
Haldeman for Governor Livingston. Ball still on the turf.
Clear over by the Highlanders, throw in for Hopewell.
You can even hear the wind every once in a while kick up into our microphones. Stango will throw it in. And it's off of Roof.
Swango with a little bit shorter throw, but on the
Remember,
rebounded
he's throwing
ball
into the wind.
Yeah, he was throwing it into the wind. That's right. It has shifted into coming directly at the cameras, as you see. So the throw is going to be a little shorter, but it caused a lot of trouble for Governor Livingston. They had to clear it over for a corner kick. Corner kick.
Well,
Bond will take it.
I'd rather be kicking into the wind than throwing into it.
You got that right.
13:50 left in regulation. Matt LaFon headed back, and a diving stop by Esnes. It was Kroll who headed it.
And what a great job that was by Esnes. If he didn't dive on that ball, you'll see here on the corner kick that as the ball comes back in again, look at the Hopewell attacker sitting there just getting ready to take the shot. And right there on top of the ball, Esnes. Drew Mills was sitting there right on top of the ball to take a shot, and Esnes came on and took it right off his feet.
That was a gutsy play by him. Really, you know, the best play he could have made, and came right out and dove and grabbed that ball. Real nice play.
It's plays like that makes me know why I wasn't a goalkeeper. I don't want to be diving headfirst at anybody's feet.
Roof clears it away with the left foot. Kept in by Swango.
Oh!
Goes over Roof's head. Mills stops it. Tries to cross in front. Headed high off the crossbar.
Hopewell suddenly coming alive here as Mills keeps the ball in.
Mills did a great job on the touchline, the end line, and just a little pass back.
Matt LaFon off the crossbar.
And as you see right there, it looked like the Highlander defenders just let the ball go, but Esnes had called the ball, and that's why they went to the side and let Esnes make the save.
Here's a look at LaFon's shot, which hits off the pipe. Mills with the good save.
Mills is the guy that made this play. Nice, easy cross coming back in. You see LaFon come in. Ball hits the post.
And then Koch heads it out of danger.
Back to live action.
Throw in.
For the Highlanders.
Connors directs it up in the air.
And now Hopewell gets to show some of their defensive talents as Mills gets the ball. Looks to the left. Oh, Mills has been all over the field.
Kroll tips it up ahead. Kroll tries to run onto it. He's got the ball in his hand, and now the official stops the ball, and Kroll is called for the push. Kroll pleading his case.
You see right here, Mills has already crossed the ball. See the oncoming, I believe that was Kroll coming onto the ball. Is he tripped or is he not?
It may have been a push there first. If you watch it carefully, he may have pushed a little bit too much.
So what you're saying is he pushed first, and then as he got ahead of the player, when the player came down on his feet, the foul had already been committed.
He was definitely taken down, yes, but I think he pushed a little bit too much, and our official saw it that way too, I think, and that was what the call was.
Kroll pleading his case with the official, but the official, just like Judge Ito, agreeing with the defense. 10:30 to go in regulation. Mills tries to direct it. Cleared away by Haldeman.
We've seen a lot of Governor Livingston on the attack in this half. Then we saw some great opportunities by Hopewell, and now it's a lot of back and forth play as Bruno Somma is exhorting his players to bring the ball upfield.
Vagell back to Connors. Connors plays it through, no one there but Timperman.
You think some of these passes are going astray because the players can't hear their teammates calling for the passes? Because we've seen a lot of through passes with nobody home.
Well, there's a lot more noise here than probably in most of their other games that they've played so far this year. And it may have a little effect, and it may be tough to hear.
Because now we're at a point where there are 4 teams worth of fans here, as the fans for Shalleck and Madison are undoubtedly here. I doubt they're doing much cheering.
But still, there is a lot of noise here, and we probably have, and that's unofficial, but we probably have several thousand people here, so it's certainly a lot more than you see during a regular season game, and it is a closed location, so I think a lot of the sound of calling for passes is lost to the crowd noises.
Nearing the 9-minute mark, 1-1 the score. Valenza scored in the first half for Hopewell Valley. Connors tied it on a header for Governor Livingston. That is only the 3rd goal given up by Hopewell Valley in the state tournament.
That is a testament to the great play we've had. Both teams showing well why they deserve to be here.
And for GL, that is only their 2nd goal allowed in their 5th state tournament game.
I think that's part of the testament as to why these teams are here.
Foul called against Vagell. Restart for Hopewell Valley. 8:20 left in regulation time. Again, if we're tied, we will play 2 10-minute overtimes.
We have a stoppage of play for one reason, or we're not sure.
Everybody's pointing to the far end of the field. We're not sure why at this point.
By the way, this turf here at Trenton State is a brand new turf, and I mean brand new. It was just reinstalled on Tuesday.
They had installed it, and they had some problems with it, and I think even they had to send some of their early round games of their field hockey and men's and women's soccer away.
But just in time for New Jersey State finals in soccer?
Well, actually not in time, because the parochial finals were to be Tuesday, but they were postponed to Wednesday. So, yes, all the games were played, but even those were pushed back 24 hours. Paviolitis slips as he tries to direct the pass to Richter.
Governor Livingston coming back to that short passing game that they had earlier. Now they're trying to settle the ball, move the ball, and when they do that, when they get back into their game plan, that's when they start moving the ball upfield, Hugh.
Well, they can be. They're very dangerous when they adhere and stick to their game plan, as you say, John.
Restart by Phillips. McCollum calls off his sweeper.
Good communication on the Hopewell defense as McCollum makes the save. This is the first time I've had a chance to see Governor Livingston this year, and I've been very impressed with their play. And that takes nothing away, as it appears that Erik Stouffer is down for the Bulldogs. Seems like they're working, and Mills is working on his ankle, but it looked like he grabbed his head when he went down.
I think he may have done that because he was in a little bit of pain.
6:17 left in regulation.
From what they're doing now, it looks like it may have been a cramp.
Stan Davis will take the walk across the field. Stan in his 8th season as head coach of the Hopewell Valley Bulldogs.
Erik Stouffer, the senior, still down on the play. He will have to leave as the clock was stopped for the injury. That means he will have to leave for at least one play, and hopefully that's all he'll have to leave for as the trainer works on it. And Stan Davis comes out as any concerned coach would.
Should point out one player for Governor Livingston on the sidelines in his varsity jacket, unable to play. That is Peter Vogel. Vogel, a senior, would have been one of the defenders for the Highlanders this year. He was injured early in the season, and that's been a bit of the story for Governor Livingston this season. Injuries, although they have certainly overcome them to a 22-1-1 record and the UCT championship.
Back to the action. Erik Stauffer's up. We're walking off the field. The substitute is in, and as soon as the coach, trainer, and injured player are off the field, we'll restart with the kick for the Bulldogs.
Approximately 6:17 left to go.
And that means only 6:17 if one of these teams scores. If it remains tied, we have a little bit more time to play.
Restarted by Timperman. Kroll tries to settle it. He has been marked very effectively by Paul Koch.
Timperman doing a good job working on that ball by himself.
Blackwell wins the ball, but cleared away by the GL defense. Foul against Hopewell Valley. Under 6 minutes now.
It's been a great game. There's a lot of Hopewell Valley on the attack, then Governor Livingston, a lot of good midfield play. Both teams really showcasing themselves well tonight. Great offensive moves.
Opening for Governor Livingston. Cook to Paviolitis. Richter looking for Haldeman. Taken away by the Hopewell defense. And Hoval will have the throw in. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes now.
Don't adjust your volume, folks. That's not your heating pipes that are. That is some of the fans using the stadium here to cheer the Highlanders on.
Drumming on the stands.
Kroll double heads it, shoots it into the side of the net.
Kroll took a hard shot, but the ball was wide. The Hopewell fans saw it hit the net. They couldn't see whether it was in or not. You'll see here from the throw-in. Good throw-in considering the wind. Controls the ball, keeps the defender off the ball, turns it once with his head, and first times it. I mean, he first timed a good hard shot, but it was just outside.
Under 4 minutes to go.
Not a great angle for a shot, but he really didn't miss by much.
And we've got a foul in the midfield called against, I believe, Paviolitis. 3:45 left in regulation.
He and Drew Namath were having a little bit of a tete-a-tete after the foul, but the referee's right there to stop it. It's going to be an indirect kick.
Timperman with the long kick. Mills out of play. Coming up on Monday on Time In, we will try to recap the high school soccer season. Joining us from the boys' side, Gene Chisowitz and Tom Bresnitsky. And from the girls' side, Keith Hertel, the head coach of Scotch Plains. They made it into the sectional final. And Pete Giordano of Westfield. Here come the Bulldogs, looking to cross to Mills, cleared away. Foul in midfield against Vagell.
Well, you could see that Vagell came up there, and there was a little bit too much action with the legs. You'll see his knee come up a little bit high and a little bit too much hands. I think it's a good call by the official. You be the judge.
I think it's a good call. It's one of the few times I may agree with you, John, on a call. But
Timperman starts it.
It was headed by Hopewell Valley, and he was not part of the play, and I think it was a good call.
Yeah, Vagell had no shot at the ball, and I think with that knee high up in there, if they had just collided with the high parts of their bodies, that would have been
Bond
one
looks
thing.
to cross it. Roof knocks it away. Nearing the 2-minute mark.
Hopewell in the last 5 minutes putting some pressure on the Highlander defense.
Blackwell.
Oh, good lead. Good give and go.
Valenza back to Blackwell. Blackwell with the right foot. Esnes pulls it out.
Blackwell showing some great ball control skills there as he gave the ball off on the pass, received it back. You'll see right here, Blackwell moving the ball up, passes the ball off to Valenza. Valenza gives it back to him, but here's a good move right here, and then there's a second good move, and then he takes the shot with Esnes right there to make the save.
1:18 left in regulation.
If we are tied at the end of the regulation, we'll wait 5 minutes. We'll have another coin toss, and then we will play 2 10-minute overtimes to completion. There is no sudden death.
Haldeman looking to go ahead for Iorio. Iorio guilty of the foul. Under 1 minute. Under 1. 1-1 our score. Governor Livingston, Hopewell Valley.
Iorio pushed the player as he was trying to come back towards the ball. John Scoris right there to make the call.
Out of play. Throw in Governor Livingston. 25 seconds left.
Now the last opportunity with 20 seconds left is going to go to Hopewell as they get the throw in.
Kroll plays it through on the left side, and Roof just sends it into the stands. 3 seconds, and we won't even get a restart. So at the end of regulation, the Group 2 championship game is tied because of the header by that young man, Jimmy Connors, off the corner kick from Jim Paviolitis. We are tied at 1. We will play 2 10-minute overtimes. We'll be right back to Trenton State right after this.
We received an anonymous phone call from one of your viewers.
That a person that committed like a car theft is going to not commit a murder.
Crossing the street, driving a car, or even eating a meal. These are some common abilities that many of us take for granted every day. Join us as we explore, along with the Kessler Institute, issues that affect the physically disabled in our area. Tune in for Abilities, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m., only on Suburban Cablevision TV3.
Good crowd on hand here at Trenton State College in Ewing on both sides of the pitch. We are getting ready for overtime, and the reason we're going to overtime, this header by Jimmy Connors. Off the post and in. Jimmy Connors, his 3rd goal of the season for the junior, and he let his teammates know about it, and that's why we are tied at 1 apiece, headed into the final 20 minutes. And there will be 20 minutes. This is not sudden death, and we will play 10 minutes going each way. During the break, we were talking about going to co-champs or settling the matter here on the field, and we all sort of agree you don't want to go to shootout. That's not the part of the game, but some of us feel that we should at least have a champion. I mean, in basketball, and granted more points are scored, you'll play 6 overtimes if you have to. Matter of fact, basketball this year, they're increasing their overtime. It's going to go from a 3-minute overtime in high school to 4 minutes.
Well, I'm not against increasing the overtime or playing more. I think they could, but I think you got to come up with some type of a limit eventually.
There was a time when we decided games on which team had the most corner kicks. Different county tournaments have experimented with removing a player from the field every 3 minutes.
Here goes Paviolitis. Settles the ball, shoots from 30 yards out, the ball trickles, and it's in! Jim Paviolitis with a goal! And the Highlanders lead 2-1.
And it's the same thing that Hugh had mentioned earlier. Paviolitis taking that hard shot that rather than curving to the goalkeeper's right, curves to his left. The keeper was moving to his right, the ball went to the left. He made the original save, but he didn't control the ball, and it trickled into the net.
He didn't control it, and he lost his footing, and then the ball just trickled in for what seemed like an eternity. Watch for Paviolitis. He's going to have a lot of open room here. He's about 35 yards out right now. Now 30 out, and finally from about 25, he'll set up the shot.
And you see that ball curving to the goalkeeper's left. The goalkeeper saw it going, tried to keep his footing, couldn't, and the ball was in.
Yeah, McCullough moving to his right, the ball, coming back to his left, and couldn't quite handle it, and that quickly, it's 2-1.
Jim Paviolitis, his 13th goal of the season. He has a goal and an assist this evening. Remember the stat we showed you at the beginning of the night? That when Greg Kroll scored for Hopewell Valley, this year the team is 12-0-1. Well, the Bulldogs do not have a goal from Greg Kroll, and right now they are 18 minutes away from losing the Group 2 championship.
Jim Paviolitis, we've talked about him all game long. He has done everything tonight. He's played some great defense. He's played on offense. Up to this point, he has my MVP vote for this game, but he's been an outstanding player, and at this point, rightly so, he has the winning goal.
He's driving the bus home. Nick Ciratella, the AD of Governor Livingston, might as well give him the keys right now, because that young man has really done it all.
You have to drive the bus. He should give him a chauffeur.
8:13 to go in the first overtime.
You talk about his defense. In a way, who cares about his defense? He's done a great job on offense. Let everybody else play defense and let him play offense.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Governor Livingston been a very opportunistic team. They've been playing that two-attacker up, but with that strong midfield, they're a great team.
The emotions right now on both sides of the pitch. On the Hopewell side, the clock is going 7:37, 7:36, 7:35, and on the GL side, it's going 7:34, 7:33, and that's just the way they're looking at it.
And there is no tomorrow right now for Hopewell Valley. They've got to put a push on and really attack to get that equalizing goal.
This team, as we've seen all game long, the ebbs and the flows of this game, I fully expect to see this team come back as everybody except for the goalkeeper is past midfield at this point.
Well, they have to bring everybody up.
Deep ball crossed, headed by Vagell, controlled momentarily by Valenza. He's got the Hopewell goal, and it is over. It is over the crossbar. The net did ripple, but it hit off the fencing. I had to just wait just for a second, but Valenza's shot is just over the crossbar.
You'll see here the ball cleared out. Again, at this point, you see, I believe, was that Valenza again? John Valenza, as it goes over between the upright of the, between the crossbar of the football goalpost and the soccer goal, it hits the retaining fence and hits the back of the net. But again, Esnes seemed to be out of the net a little bit further than I would be. But then again, he's got 14 shutouts this year, so who am I to say anything?
Hard shot, directed wide right.
Hopewell Valley certainly not giving up at this point.
No, as we expected, they've put the push on now. They've got nothing to lose, and they've got to attack. We get to see this play again.
Ball brought up nicely on the wing as they split the defense and get the ball a little bit past Turchetta.
Another good shot, but just wide.
You see the trip there, no question about it. Rossi with the call, and the Highlanders in no hurry to get the ball back into play at this point.
Well, time is on their side.
Paviolitis plays it in deep towards the right corner.
all they want to do. They just want to put the ball in the quarter, let their forwards go after it, make the fullbacks from Hopewell Valley work.
Connors gives it to Koch. Koch moving with the left foot, sends it in front.
By the same token, Hugh, at this point, I don't think Governor Livingston should do anything different. Stay with what they've done all game long. Hopewell Valley can overcommit by bringing too many people up, and I don't think you can drop everybody back on defense.
The only thing I would do is I would drop one of my forwards back to a halfback and play 4. Make sure I was playing 4 halfbacks.
Paviolitis.
Basically 2 forwards, Paviolitis just moving the ball very quietly back there. He's willing to waste time at this point.
He'll take the throw in. Off of temperament, it will be a corner kick.
And again, as is normally the case here, with a running clock in soccer, you're not going to see Paviolitis in any big hurry as he adjusts his socks to get the ball back into play.
Haldeman is in for Governor Livingston. They make the substitution. They've done this quite often on the corner.
And you can see that wind, how strong it is, moving the ball.
Paviolitis sends it in low into the wind.
Jumping in foul against the Highlanders.
Under 4 minutes left in the first overtime. Governor Livingston 2, Hopewell Valley 1. GL trying to win the Group 2 state championship, trying to win their 4th ever state crown in this their 5th appearance in the final. The only time they returned back, 1980, they lost to Lawrenceville 7-1. That was at a time when the preps were still allowed to play in the state tournaments. But their use of postgraduates now precludes them.
Not a time to be taking any silly fouls here for the Highlanders as the Bulldogs are going to get a restart from about 50 to 55 yards out.
Headed clear by Roof.
Oh,
I don't know about that one.
I don't either. I think at this point you're. I thought I saw a blow struck, but at that same time, I don't think the referee saw it because they were trying to indicate the point where the restart was supposed to take place.
And time is stopped as Jimmy Connors is down on the ground holding his knee.
Jimmy Connors, who has the first goal here for the Highlanders on a header off a corner kick by Jim Paviolitis. When we get the restart, it is going to be for Hopewell Valley, and they'll have a shot from about 25 yards out.
I didn't see what happened. I was watching.
Well, the original foul was a 50-50 foul, but I think as the whistle blew, the referees were both running in to mark the spot of the foul because it is relatively close to the penalty area, and I didn't even catch the number that quick, but it looked to me like somebody, I won't say threw a punch, but Jimmy Connors got hit, and but he got hit up high, and I didn't think it had anything to do with the knee.
The original foul that was called, I'm not so sure that was a foul. I thought that the Governor Livingston player hustled, came through, and played the ball before there was any contact. Good to see Jimmy on his feet.
With 2:51 left in the first overtime. Stan Davis and his Hopewell Valley Bulldogs trail 2-1.
Well, let's see if we go with the set play again. That hasn't been too successful for them. We're going to go for a shot. It seems to me they've gone with the set plays all day, and it is a set play, but they're going to take the shot.
Kroll will take the shot. Esnes with the big save, low.
And that's one of the toughest shots of all to make a save on.
Nice play. On everybody expected the shot to be taken, but a nice fake, and got a little bit better angle on.
Bruno Somma told me a few days ago that Chris Esnes is a tall goalie, which he is, so he's better on the high shots than the low shots, but he made a sparkling save on a low shot right there.
And of course, we've alluded to the fact that this is the AstroTurf, so that ball skips a little quicker off the AstroTurf than it would off the grass. I don't think the wetness that we had earlier today is any factor at this point because it's been windy.
I think the field is fairly dry by now.
Chris Esnes goes 6'2", 200 pounds. matter of fact, he has an assist this year. He does such a good job punting the ball that at one point this year he punted the ball upfield, someone ran onto it and scored.
Big guy.
14 shutouts.
Although at this point, I don't think he's worrying about shutouts. He's just worrying about what happens in the next 10-plus minutes.
1:42 left in the first overtime. We'll take a break, and then we'll play 10 more minutes. Governor Livingston hoping to capture their 4th state championship. The first back in 1977. Then in 79, they beat Freehold Borough 3-2. In 84, they beat Freehold Borough 3-0. Esnes out of the goal.
Esnes did a nice job there. Oh,
no, here's what Esnes did. He walked off the field of play and then came back on, and the flow is not what took him off the field. Therefore, he's going to be called for the corner kick.
Well, the reason he went after it, he had to go after it because it was deflected off his teammate's foot and would have been a corner anyway, so he had to make the attempt.
Under 1 minute in the first overtime. Will they look for Kroll? LaFon sets it up.
Good
Here
corner.
comes Kroll. Blackwell trying to control it.
We'll have a corner
Throw
from
it.
the side.
Nope, it is going to be a corner. I thought it went on this side of the flag.
That's why I'm a referee, Paul.
Headed by Richter and then cleared.
And well cleared out to midfield by the defense. 20 seconds left in the first overtime.
Richter hit it first, and then Koch cleared it away for Governor Livingston. 13 seconds to go. Hopewell has applied the pressure since the goal by Paviolitis. Swango played off the ball. Good slide tackle. And that will do it for the first overtime. Jim Paviolitis, only 45 seconds into this overtime, has given Governor Livingston a 1-0 lead in this Group 2 state championship. We'll take a short break, 2-1 lead, and we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Do you have any questions, comments, ideas, or concerns about any of the programs here on Suburban Cablevision TV3? Then we invite you to call the Suburban Cablevision TV3 viewer response line at area code 908-851-8521. We'd like to know what you think. You are watching Suburban Cablevision TV3.
If it stands up, the people of Berkely Heights will be talking about this goal by Jim Paviolitis all winter and spring long.
A lot of room for Paviolitis.
Nobody really marked him coming in there.
Takes his time, sets up, almost tees it up, and as you say, the ball hooking to the right away from McCullum, and then right in, couldn't handle it.
Look at the goalie just looking at the ball. That moment of agony when he's on the ground just looking at the ball.
Helpless feeling watching that ball roll and knowing there's nothing you can do about it.
Hugh, as a former coach, what's Nick Somma saying to his kids in there with a 2-1 lead? And then I'll ask you a second question. What's Stan Davis saying?
Well, all you want to do for Governor Livingston is keep the ball away from your net. Don't let Hopewell Valley play with it. Don't let them work the ball down there. Don't worry so much about, working the ball and good passing near your net. Get the ball out of there. I always wanted the kids to go put the ball in a corner, let my forwards run for it, and keep the pressure on that way. As far as Hopewell Valley, Stan Davis is telling, hey, as we said before, there is no tomorrow, no second chance. We've got to go out and put as much pressure on and attack as we can and try and get that equalizer.
Final 10 minutes of soccer to be played in this Group 2 championship. Governor Livingston 2, Hopewell Valley 1. Hopewell Valley took a lead in the first half. 12:40 left in the half. John Valenza scored on an assist from Derek Mills. With 23:08 left in the game, Jimmy Connors scored on a header off a corner kick from Jim Paviolitis. And 45 seconds into the first overtime, Paviolitis scored on the goal we just showed you, unassisted.
Off to the races.
Governor Livingston with a great opportunity.
Paviolitis, of course, crosses it, knocked away by McCallum. Paviolitis was looking to cross it for Richter.
And let me tell you, if we get a chance to see it again, Paviolitis going down the right side. Ball got a little bit far away from him, but makes a nice move, gets past. Now he's looking for the cross.
He makes a real nice cross there, too.
And there's a nice
He
save.
he was looking for Tucker Semon.
He was available on the far side, waiting for the ball.
Paviolitis playing with it in the corner. He knows he has time.
Paviolitis extolling the official there. Come on, it didn't go out off of me.
I think he was saying he was pushed off the ball.
He felt he was pushed down. I'm not too sure he wasn't.
There were two players near him, and I thought he was pushed off the ball and into the ball, and then it went out of play. 8:35 left in the game. Roof clears it away. I'll tell you, Mike Roof has played a very solid game, injured ankle and all. He hurt his ankle in that Hackettstown game, which was the sectional final. He had the assist on the goal in the Northern Highlands game.
Hard foul just behind the play there. The referee immediately called it. Bulldogs with the restart, but there was a hard tackle taken by the...
And it was after the play, and it was a good call.
Oh, absolutely.
8 minutes left. Roof will take about a week off and then get ready for basketball. That's his winter sport. There you see him. He was a forward for 2 years, but his speed makes him a very valuable asset on the defense. Another one of the 4-year starters for Bruno Somma.
This is a very quick team, even on defense. I'm very impressed with this team. They move the ball so well. We've talked about Jim Paviolitis, but the rest of this team, as good as Jim Paviolitis is, he can't be great unless he's got a good supporting cast.
So true.
LaFon tries to run onto the ball. It's still on the turf. Cook hits it off of Kroll.
You had a foul behind the play just outside the penalty area. You had one of the Hopewell players taken down on a trip call. Might even be a card issued on that because it was an awful hard foul. No card issued, but the trip called. And this is only going to be a yard or two outside the penalty area. You see John Scores there making sure the... there it is, about 3 yards outside the penalty area.
Dangerous opportunity.
Sure is. Especially with that wind a little bit at their back, which has been a crosswind, so that could play some funny tricks on the ball going to Esnes.
Kroll's taken all these shots. Right now, he doesn't appear as if he will be the man. Yes, he is. He sets himself up, shoots. Esnes with the save, and he's done it again. Chris Esnes.
The identical restart that Hopewell Valley had in that first overtime. You'll see here the ball started. Right there moves. They stop and tee it up. He moves it once past the defender, takes the shot. They've done it many times.
Great soccer, a great shot, and a great save.
Chris Esnes has been up to the challenge. 6:16 to go. Long ball, headed for the box, headed away by Haldeman. Swango directs it back towards the box. Again, Haldeman heads it.
Right now, as it always seems to be, Hopewell down 1 goal. It seems to be all Hopewell as they're banging at the door.
Nemeth. Far corner, Paviolitis. It rolls out.
It'll be a throw in for Governor Livingston.
The clock is moving. It's nearing the 5-minute mark. Connors is back in the game for the Highlanders.
Governor Livingston in no hurry to get these balls back into play. Each one. This next 5 minutes and 30 seconds is the entire season for both squads.
Timperman way up from his sweeper position. He's got to be now.
These teams have to be tired now. Close to 80 minutes, close to 100 minutes of soccer. There's been very few substitutions tonight. We've played basically with the same 11 players for almost the entire game.
You talked about the speed of this Governor Livingston team as we near the 5-minute mark. The turf just accentuates that speed for this team.
It does. When you're, obviously I'm not nearly as fast at 51 years of age as these kids are, but when I have the opportunity to referee a game on AstroTurf, you do feel the spring in it. You can feel an increase in the speed, and it's going to make a big difference, especially for a quick team like Governor Livingston.
GL tries to settle in midfield, and then they send the ball deep.
Not as deep as they would have liked to, but
so they'd like to see a goal kick on that one.
4:30 to go. Governor Livingston trying for their 4th state title.
Foul throw.
And it was called.
Yep. I said many times, if I had a curveball, a ball that could curve like that, spin like that in high school, I'd been a great pitcher.
Connors will throw it in.
When the ball curves like that and spins like that, it's the indication of a one-handed throw-in, and the referee right on top of it makes the call.
Swango called for the foul, got all body, no ball. Bruno Somma imploring his team to slow it down, set it up. 3:45 to go in the second overtime.
Bruno Somma pacing quietly by himself at the furthest end of the coaching area, very nervous.
Paviolitis draws the double team, draws the foul.
Paviolitis again with a great opportunity here, but by the same token, in no hurry to put it in play.
He took that ball down into the corner, he worked it, he played with it, he let the defense come to him, then he tried to make a move through. Real nice play.
Under 200 seconds. Headed just wide. Goal kick. Connors and Paviolitis scoring for the Highlanders.
That's what Governor Livingston wants to do if they're going to clear the ball downfield.
They clear it down, put it in the corner. Hopewell unable to really get a good kick up, and they get the ball back.
As a matter of fact, that is the first goal of the state tournament for Paviolitis.
Couldn't come at a better time. Coming up on 2.5 minutes here in this second and final overtime.
Connors playing with the injured leg.
Yeah, I saw Jimmy Connors. It looked like he was pulling on his left hamstring there, as if he might have pulled a little harder again.
I don't think he's coming out.
No, I don't either.
I think you'd have to drag him out at this point. Played away from Richter, throw in Hopewell Valley.
Governor Livingston extremely happy. You got a jump-in foul right there.
Foul on Haldeman. Hopewell Valley will restart with exactly 2 minutes to go. Swango and Connors hit the turf.
Jimmy Connors with the header brings the ball over to Richter.
Throw in GL. 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the Group 2 final.
We would like to remind all spectators that they have to leave the stands at the conclusion of the match. Once again, we ask all spectators to leave the stands at the conclusion of the match. Thank you.
1 minute and 10 seconds separating Governor Livingston High School from the Group 2 state championship.
Phillips out of play. Throw in Hopewell, 60 seconds. The countdown has begun on the GL side.
The longest 60 seconds in the young lives of these players.
Let me tell you something. Now it's down to 45 seconds. I think these Governor Livingston players are going to feel like it's about 45 minutes.
Cleared by Roof.
Hopewell still not out of it. If they could get one last.
But the GL midfield not allowing them to get one last opportunity.
GL keeping the ball in play, keeping it at the middle of the field. Little kitty bar the door. But Hopewell have a little, but not giving much.
18 seconds. Time for one last run. Here's Kroll. Dishes it off to the side to Valenza. He has the only Hopewell goal. Stolen away by Paviolitis with 4, 3, 2. The Governor Livingston Highlanders complete a 23-1-1 season by not only winning the Union County Tournament Championship for the first time in 2 decades, but for the first time in 10 years, they have won a group championship. They are the 1994 New Jersey Group 2 state champions. And there is pandemonium on the GL sideline as this 4-year-long wait for Governor Livingston under Bruno Somma, when he put 8 freshmen out on the field 4 years ago, I don't even think he could have realized that it would result in a state title. We'll take a short break. We'll be back to ask him that very question from down on the field. TV3, Suburban Cablevision's local origination channel, provides the finest in local programming for the 42 communities we serve. The National Cable Television Association has recognized Suburban's commitment to local programming by presenting TV3 with over 30 ACE Awards, the industry's highest achievement for community programming. We pledge to continue to provide the best in local programming, from high school sports to informative talk shows and entertaining specials. TV3, an industry leader, setting the standard and showing the way. Tune us in and see what we're all about. In a come-from-behind victory, the Highlanders of Governor Livingston Regional High School this evening has captured the New Jersey Group 2 state championship with a tremendous performance and a win in overtime. Chris Esnes, the keeper this evening. Chris, a great performance by you. A couple of tough shots. Remember one in, I believe, the first overtime or late in regulation. A hard, low shot, a tough save. You made all the tough ones tonight.
Thank you. Yes, they played very well. They shot, I feel, on a couple of them, I had just it wasn't that hard to save, but I felt a couple of them were challenging, and I think the playing surface is a lot harder than regular grass. You have a lot less traction. The ball does not play right off the grass. It skips, and I just felt that, I don't know, we did it. And
it looked like they were trying early to test you up high with the head balls, and one of them did find the net.
My strength is usually coming out. Since I'm tall, I can jump. I get to those, but in the lights, I cannot judge as well. And it didn't frustrate me, but I tried my hardest to keep it up and do all I can.
And you did, Chris. Congratulations. Great performance for you. Jimmy Connor, step on in here, because if it wasn't for your header, there wouldn't have been no overtime. Tell me a little bit about the ball that Jim set up for you.
It was just a really good corner kick, and I saw it might be going out, so I just tried to keep it back in play for the rest of the guys out in the front of the goal.
What was it like for this team in this state tournament run with injuries to Vagell, to Roof, even you getting hurt during this game, moving players around? Did that just make this team tougher, knowing that you could overcome those obstacles?
Yeah, I think we just pulled together as a team, and we had to pull it out, and we did.
All right, Jimmy, thanks very much for coming by. Congratulations on a great header that tied the game and sent it into overtime. And then just 45 seconds into the overtime, Jim Paviolitis with the goal that sends GL home the winner. Jim, tell us about the shot. What shocked us in the great day that you were having, nobody was around you. You had about 5 yards clearance all the way around. Did you think they just lost you somewhere?
Yeah, I was surprised too. In the past county games and the state games, I've been marked real tight, and I guess the guy just didn't know, and he gave me a lot of space and a lot of room.
Your couple shots this evening, in particular one that scored, you put a little hook on the ball. Is that something you try to do?
No, I just tried to hit the ball solid, and the way I hit it with the outside of my foot, and with the strong breeze that we have here right now tonight, the ball just caught and the keeper lost his footing.
Jimmy, I'll just ask you a question to sort of represent the freshman who 4 years ago went on the field, 8 of you, put this program together, suffered through a good season, although not a great one. What was it like to 4 years later hoist that trophy?
It was just a dream come true. It was things we talked about after practice. Yeah, when we're seniors, we're going to bring it home, and it's just a great feeling to bring it home to all the fans. The town's been behind us, and it's just a great bunch of guys. These guys are like my family. It just feels great.
Jim, congratulations on the goal and an assist this evening, and the big goal 45 seconds into overtime, and Bruno Somma, congratulations on a great performance. Let me ask you what I sort of just asked Jim right now. We finished up our comments in the booth. 4 years ago, you sent 8 freshmen out on the field, and you actually won 8 games that year, but did you have, even in your wildest thoughts, any thought that this would be a team that could become the state champion 4 years later?
Well, seeing the kids that early, that young, I felt that they had the skill and they had the unity to put it all together, and to watch these kids develop, I knew down the road we would have a good team.
What was the mood like at the half when Hopewell Valley had the 1-0 lead?
We were very confident. Everything that was said at halftime was very positive. We were very unfortunate. We had the better to play the first half. They came down and knocked one home, but we had the pressure on, and the law of averages usually catches up. If you put enough pressure, take enough shots, you're going to score.
You also won the battle of corner kicks for whatever that's worth, and it was worth the tying goal by Connors. Any advantage there in the fact that you had so many more corner kicks?
Well, we try to take advantage of our corner kicks. It's one of our biggest weapons. We come at you with Ryan Haldeman at 6'3", Preston Light at 6'1", and sometimes we bring up Mike Roof at 6'2", and we try to cover all corners of the box. We run from a stack. We cover the near post, the middle, and the far post, and we do it effectively.
I know it wouldn't have mattered had you won this game anywhere else, but is it a little special for you in that you won it here at Trenton State where you played?
Well, it's great to come back here and to win a state championship. It's a great thing. I'm thrilled.
Bruno, thanks very much for coming by. Congratulations on a
much.
tremendous season, 5 years as head coach, and the 5th year ends in a state championship. John Marcy, let's wrap this one up because the Group 2 teams want to get out on the field. The Group 1 teams, excuse me. Your thoughts on this matchup this evening and on this tremendous GL team?
Great ebbs and flows the whole game. In the first half, as Bruno said a minute ago, they had Hopewell had the advantage, and they managed to bang one in. Governor Livingston never gave up. They showed their class. They showed why they are where they are today. They came back strong in the second half. Jim Paviolitis, you can't say enough about him. Group 2 state champions. They deserve it. They were the better team on the field today.
And Hugh, we always talk about offense that wins games, but certainly defense does this evening. And GL, after giving up the 1 goal, tightened up their defense and just didn't really allow that many more strong shots. There was one off the crossbar, but for the most part, the GL defense shut down Hopewell after that point.
Well, in the very beginning, they really weren't playing that well defensively, I thought. And then, as you say, they shored things up. They did a real nice job coming back and tightening things up. And as you say, after that, there really weren't a lot of opportunities.
And the opportunities this evening belong to Governor Livingston, trailing 1-0. Jimmy Connors scores in the second half to send us into overtime, and then 45 seconds in, Jim Paviolitis with his 13th goal of the season, his first of the playoffs, and that carries GL to the Group 2 crown. For you, Albanesius and John Marcy, I'm Paul Spahala. Thank you all for being with us. And again, the 1994 Group 2 state champions, the Highlanders of Governor Livingston Regional High School. Good night, everyone.